Hey guys, how are you? It's Dreamwatch. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing an inner work video. It's been a minute since I've done it. I was gonna do a podcast and I was really excited about it, but I am working on something that I'm very excited about and I want to give my absolute all into it instead of spreading myself too thin. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to what I know for now, and talk about everything I want to talk about here. So we are going to do an inner work video. This one is inspired by a TikTok that I did. So if you follow me on TikTok, I randomly posted a video of it started off as how to know you're dating the wrong guy. So I want to dive deeper into that because a lot of you guys, unfortunately, we've all been through it. And I think this goes very well with doing your inner work because who you give your energy to, who you spend your time with, affects your energy and it will affect everything in your life. It's very, very important. I've experienced the different sides of it myself, and it's crazy. So, first, I want to say, I think women, we naturally sacrifice so much of ourselves for love. Maybe that's society, maybe that's just the way that we're built. There is a way of going about it, and it has to be protected, and it has to be protected by you. And it's not empathy anymore, it's a lack of self-love. So I want to talk about being like super aware of that. And in general, like us women being super aware of the situation and being reminded of the power that you hold and taking accountability of who you're giving your power to. Because sometimes we're giving our power to people that we definitely should not. And I've done that. That's literally all of my 20s. So now I know so much and I want to share it with you all, especially my young ones, to not waste your time. Another example of recognizing what the situation is. And this is going to be a little controversial. And actually, maybe I'll do a TikTok on this too. It's going to be so controversial. Situationships. I personally don't understand them. Like, sure, you want to date multiple people and like get to know everyone and see what you like in the beginning, sure. And if that's what you want, then perfect. But I just see a lot of times, like naturally, women only want one guy naturally. And if you don't, fuck yeah, like do your thing, whatever. But don't agree to a situationship if that's not really what you want. Because I see it all the time. These men are literally convincing women of these new standards of dating, and it's such bullshit. Like, the only thing that truly benefits a situationship is a man. And for some reason, we're all like, yeah, this is, I agree with this. That's what I want too. But if it's not what you want, side note. I think that's why a lot of men aren't growing up anymore. And I think that's why men don't want to commit anymore because they just don't have to. Like, if all these girls are like, yeah, let's spend a whole weekend together. Let's pretend we're in a honeymoon phase. Let's pretend you like me. Let's pretend this is going to turn into something when it's absolutely not. And then a woman develops relationships more and more. I mean, chemically, especially if you're sleeping with somebody, you're chemically going to start becoming more in love with them. And guys don't have that chemical. So it is like, it's a game that I hope to be aware that we all need to like understand that is a crack of bullshit. Like maybe I'm like a little possessive, but any guy I personally have ever dated, the minute I realize that I like them and I want to be with them, I tell them that. I was like, with my last relationship and even my boyfriend now, the minute that I like them, I'm like, I want to be with you. I like hanging out with you and I'm willing to put more into this and spend more time together and hang out. But if you want to be with me, you can only be with me. And if you want to hook up with other girls, you want to be with other women, like that's totally cool. Obviously, live your life, do your thing. We could be friends. You know what I mean? I just want to be with you. You set your boundaries and then you just stick with them. And that's just the way I roll. Like set your boundaries with someone. And then if they're crossed, you just have to truly stick with that decision and walk away if it's, because usually if someone oversteps a boundary, more than once or whatever, depending on the situation, it's just a lack of respect. As always, there's so many things I want to say. I'm trying to like make sure I'm keeping in line. But if you want to be with a guy and he's giving you this whole thing of like, oh, the reason why I can't fully commit is because of this, literally just always expect what a guy says is like pretty much always bullshit. Unless you know they're super self aware, understand the situation. If a guy is giving you a runabout and convincing you, like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine with the situation where you can pick me up whenever you want and then put me down, and then you're gonna go to the next girl and then pick her up and then put her down, and the next girl pick her up and put her down. Like, no. Sorry, no. If you're gonna be with me, you need to commit to me, and that's it, because then I'll commit to you. If you want to be with other people, then fine. I'm not gonna give you my energy and my time. And then we can be cool. Unless I feel like it. But don't do it if just out of loneliness or anything like that. The other scary part about that is that a lot of people that get themselves in situationships is with a narcissist. That's probably something I'm always gonna talk about. Like, I had a narcissist in my family. I've dated a narcissist, and I know them like literally the back of my hand. And the way narcissists work is they will specifically try to find women that they feel is a little lesser than, and women that is easy to kind of control and manipulate. A lot of times it could be a younger girl because they just don't know what to really look out for, and they kind of fall for the bullshit. And like, us older women, we've been through it, so we're like, no, motherfucker, you can't, this doesn't work, I know what you're doing, like, no, no. But if you're very unsure of yourself with self-love, like, self-love was something in the past that I really struggled with at the time, and I thought I had a lot of it, and I did. But during that relationship, I completely lost myself, and that's what inspired this video altogether. Like, altogether, I feel like we're giving men way too much power. I see a lot of women who, as we've all been through it, it's whether during a relationship or even after a relationship. Like, maybe it's like a terrible breakup, maybe it's cheating, maybe it's abuse. It will fuck with you, and it will mess your self worth up for so long. Like, sometimes it'll take you years to like truly process and move on from something. And I'm so stubborn that I like, when I went through like, like this traumatic like turnabout, like things like just one day just flipped, and I was like, whoa, what? And my whole world was like flipped upside down. I was like, I'm gonna get over this as fast as I can. I know how to do my inner work, and I'm gonna do all these things. And it still like took me time, but I allowed myself to be honest with myself. I tried to, at least. After I finally, healed from it and did my inner work, and look at the situation, and then especially getting into like a newer relationship that's so healthy, you're able to like then look back at past situations, and you're like, whoa, I did not see that, I didn't, or I felt that and I totally ignored it, or I wish I didn't respond that way, I wish I didn't give that much time, I wish I didn't give that much power away. And then you realize that sometimes we put these people way too high on a pedestal, and we don't need to do that, but we live and learn. So, specifically, the video I talked about on my TikTok, I was getting ready one time and I was thinking about, like, I was thinking about my boyfriend now. He always makes it such a point for me to trust him. Like, if I'm like, hey, I don't like this, he will fix it like that. I don't like you liking other girls' Instagram photos. Like, unless you're like close friends or something like that, that's like a big no for me. It's slimy. What's the point? Honestly, let's be real, us girls, we all understand the same thing. Like, what's the point? Like, are you trying to like hit them up? You're trying to let them know? You're trying to let them, like, if you're keeping a door open, that's fine. But be fucking honest with me. And I'm not entertaining that. Like, I have enough respect and experience to be like, not for me. But if you want to respect my boundaries, I'll also respect your boundaries. I will make you a very happy man, and let's build something together. And that's the plan, right? And that should be the right exchange. I mean, that's literally the basics of a relationship. I mean, let's be real. And I think men nowadays are trying to reshape this new dating world, and it's complete bullshit. Like, it only benefits the guys, and so many girls are falling for it. These situationships don't make sense. Unless you genuinely want the situationship, do your thing. But if you don't, and you're doing that because you're like, well, maybe something will come from this, or like, oh, he just got out of a relationship and maybe he just needs time, or literally whatever excuse it is. If a man, How many men do we know get out of a long-term relationship? The first thing they do is get into another one. They don't care about that. If they're giving you some roundabout or any bullshit, they just don't want to be with you. But hey, if you want to sleep with them, they're obviously going to be down for that. And they're going to play just enough where, the whole breadcrumbing thing, like just enough where you'll be like, well, they do like me, or like maybe they're picking me over these other girls. No, they're not. It takes nothing for a guy to sleep with you. If you're gonna make yourself available, they're gonna do that. And something else, sorry, I'm rambling, but something else that we need to stop doing is being like, oh, well, guys are just dumb. They're just dumb. They're not dumb. If they're over the age of 25, they're not fucking dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. And then the other side, if you're messing with a narcissist, they know exactly what they're doing. And it's always the nicest guy, the sweetest guy, the guy that will, when you're around him, he will literally become the perfect guy of your dreams because they study you, they know what you like, they have no self identity, so they know how to mimic it. That's like their thing, is always portraying a mask. And girls will fall for it. And they know exactly what they're doing, and they do that on purpose because then they have control. Because narcissists will do anything possible to avoid vulnerability, loss of control, and accountability. Their biggest fears in life because they have no sense of self. So be aware of these people. Or if you're going to mess with a narcissist and you know they're narcissists, then learn how to play this game. Because if you're messing with a narcissist, it's rather you're going to be dumb or you're going to be toxic. Those are the only two decisions that you have. Because there is no way you can be authentic with a narcissist, because narcissists are always playing this type of chess game with manipulation. So when you're young, you don't really know that. Or if you're not experienced, you don't really know that. But if you're experienced, I'll eat you up and chew you alive. Okay, okay. So, back to what I was saying with my boyfriend. These are my boundaries, these are my boundaries. Sometimes, I mean, he doesn't love them sometimes. Sometimes he's like, why? But we'll talk about it. But we both want the same outcome because we talked about that out of the relationship. Like, we hope maybe this is it. So we're trying to work at that. And so we communicate. So we have to respect one another. He just does that very effortlessly. He gives me his location on his phone. I've never asked for that before. He just automatically gave that to me. He's always constantly letting me know what he's doing, who he's with. He's just very classy and mindful, especially since he knows that I've had, a past with just a ton of bullshit. That it's really nice that now I've gotten to a place I'm like, oh my God, I remember when my nervous system was just consistently thrown off. Consistently. Now being in a place where I'm like, oh, I'm not panicking. Like I never once wanted to go through his phone, never went through his phone yet, which is a whole other conversation, my thoughts on that. But never went through his phone, like never cared about that. Like I dated a guy one time that I specifically was like, hey, I'm going to be going through your phone every now and then because I need to know. I just need to know, right? Do I think that's the most healthiest thing? No. If I feel like you're with somebody that you have to go through their phone, it's probably not legit. But at the same time, I've saved myself a lot of wasted time by going through someone's phone. Would I want someone going through my phone all the time? No, but I also don't have anything to hide. So if like you really needed that, sure. If you're going through my phone constantly and I know I have nothing to hide, then this is like a you problem. But if I can't go through your phone, like we can sleep together, we can do all these things together, living together, whatever, and I can't see your phone, you know, that's kind of an issue. Like if I were to go to my boyfriend now and be like, hey, let me see your phone, he'd give it to me, it's fine. So I never really go through his phone. So why would I do that? And it's nice. When I looked back to, one of a relationship that I was in the past, I just remember like if his phone was like available for me to go through, my heart would be pounding. And like I would say 60%, maybe 50%, 60 or 50%, there would be something. Um, there was even a time where I saw something. It's actually I found something right before I found out that he cheated on me on his phone, and I couldn't say anything. And it was deteriorating at my soul because I'm a person that if I have something to say, I'm going to say it. It's very hard for me to like conceal my thoughts. Um, and I like being that way because, and I like other people like that. Like, hey, let's just talk it out. Don't fester and keep things in. But I found something that was, it wasn't technically cheating, but it was like him saying the most, like, it was a text between him and this girl, and I looked her up, and I know him. There was like literally, it wasn't, she wasn't his type, let's just say that. And it wasn't something that somebody that I naturally would be like, oh, I'm, intimidated by this. And he was just flirting, being like, we should have had kids. Like he's just fucking like flirting, right? Like we should have had babies or this or that, or like I should have married you when I had the chance, even though they never dated, like whatever. And I couldn't say anything because I didn't want him to know that how I was finding this out. And I remember I would look at him and he's like, why are you looking at me like that? And I just remember thinking in my head, I'm like, this guy is so, I know he's not attracted to this girl, but here he is playing this. He's always trying to be everyone's dream guy. He always has to have that front. And it's not enough for like us, even though we have so much fun together, like we have a great, everything that felt really great. The only big issue is his lack of respect. And it was pulling teeth for this person to like truly understand. And I just remember that's when it like really started nailing the nail in the coffin, where I started looking at him as a much smaller person than how I built him up in my head. Because like obviously you're dating somebody, you're like, oh, I love them, they're the best, they're the greatest, like I'm gonna have your back. Then I started looking at him, oh my god, you're like really desperate for like anyone's attention. Like it's never enough. Like you have a girlfriend that's like loves you to death. And I'm trying to say this story because I dealt with the extreme of somebody, of that type of person. And I know other people are dealing with, their own thing too. And I look back at it and it turned me into like an uglier person. Like this is like a totally side story. Like I can just like talk forever. But there were times where I would go up to girls and being like, you're overstepping boundaries, basically calling them out because they're always like trying to be my friend. And I'm like, nuh-uh, uh-uh. Okay, let's not be dumb here. That's disrespectful as shit. And like, what are we doing? Then I would go to him like, yo, that's disrespectful. If I did that, you would you would raise hell. I felt like it started making me to the point where I'm like, oh, he's flirting with this person, or why is he in the room with that girl? Or I started being so hard on myself that I need to be better. And I'm already like that naturally. And so I just think it's like that very cliche thing that you date somebody that validates those feelings, which goes in, the whole purpose of this video, which is really about self-love. Everything's about self-love. So I think that relationship highlighted a part of me where I thought I had self-love. Because like I'm like, I respect myself, I'm gonna stick up for myself, I'm gonna defend myself. But the self-love was that I allowed someone to make me feel that I was never enough, that I was never good enough, and that and I needed to compare myself. I need to be threatened towards other women. And that's like so not my nature. Like naturally, like I love women. Like I said in my TikTok, I love seeing women do great. I love when girls feel themselves. Like some girls will like, like videos like where women are just like feeling themselves. When people get so triggered by that, I love it. Love it. Because I think in a world where we're always taught that we're never good enough, we need more people to feel good about themselves and to own their love for themselves and not give their power away. So when I look back at how thrown off, like one time I got my hair done and and he did it wrong. And I was so internally on edge and so shaken up inside that I was just like, so much like I'm not a mean person. I just felt like I was so cold and cutting by the way I said something just because I was like dealing with something else, which, you never know what someone's going through. And I look back and I'm like, God, I was like constantly so on edge. because he wanted me on edge because that's where he kept the control of the dynamic, where I could be the crazy one and it's not him. He's not the problem, it's me. But now that I'm with somebody that doesn't go out of their way to like shake me up or just respects me enough to make me feel safe in the relationship, like I have no reason. Now that I know, once I got out of that relationship, I found peace. Now I understand how dark that was, not in a healthier relationship. And I would never deal with that ever again. And I hope no one else deals with that ever again. A reminder, women's energy is so much more powerful and sacred than you actually think. Like I know that sounds like really woo woo and like I don't know, whatever, but it's true. You know, everybody wants a woman's validation. Men and women want a woman's validation. We allow these guys to make us feel small or to feel insecure because of other women or this and that when that's not really the dynamic. Women are elevating so much and so fast, and like we're learning to like kind of group way more than it was like in the past. Like I feel like older generations are the women are way more meaner and cattier to one another than like my Gen Z girls, and like some of my millennial girls are the best cheerleaders in the entire world and so supportive and so self-aware. Like we're definitely getting to a place in life where women are understanding that we're all beautiful in our own way. Community with other women is really great. And I love that. I mean, that's my whole platform is based off of that. And I was with somebody that made me lose that part of myself, which is a part of me. He liked me fighting for us or like towards other women. And I realized like this person, looking at it where these men will try to get women to feel like they have to chase them because that's what gives them validation and that's what makes them feel good. And it has nothing to do with you. It's not because they care about you or anything like that. Like them just like having you around is not flattery. If they're trying to avoid being alone with their own selves and own thoughts and avoiding looking at themselves, you have to know the situation. Don't give your energy away so much. Understand your power. And to be honest with you, guys like that. When you have strong boundaries with men, you'll see which ones who have the right intentions and not. Because I've had men go through hoops, and go through all these things to be with me, and they still fucking did some shit in the end. Have high standards. Respect your boundaries. Okay, I feel like this video is so long, I can talk forever. Now, with the whole energetic side of why it's so important for you to protect your energy and understand that if you're in a relationship with a guy that's messing with your inner voice and your self-love, that's making you like a sign of being triggered by other women or feeling like, oh, he's looking at her, he's attracted to her. Like, if he's not strong enough to hold down the foundation of the relationship, like my woman doesn't have to worry about with anyone else. I don't want her to feel insecure. If he's not doing that, then what is attractive about being with somebody? Unless you deep down feel like maybe you are not good enough. Maybe it is you. It's not that. It's them. I'm telling you, like, if you want to be in a relationship, be in a relationship. If you don't, if you don't. But the reason why it's so important too is because if you're trying to manifest something in your life or you're trying to upgrade in your life, which I think everyone, their goal should always be to be better and to learn how to live happier in life as you get older. I think that should be like the number one goal. And it's hard to get there just because you're giving your love and your precious energy that we all have individually. You're giving that to somebody who's empty inside and who needs all this. Oh, I need that, I need this, I need that. They're so gone that there's nothing to build from with that. And I was talking to this I had this, I think she was, I don't know, 22. She came up to me in a club and she's like, I follow you, I love, your videos. And we were talking about relationships, and I was like, you know what, you should really consider when it comes to dating. Like when you're young, if you're like truly like not ready to settle down, like, have fun, focus on yourself, and you can date people, whatever. But if you're also at a place where you want to like marry somebody or build with somebody, think about, if you want to have kids, right? I always thought about it. All my girlfriends or hear people online, like your body changes. And I heard it could be, it's a lot. There's so many changes. You have hormones going on. Do you want to be going through something that's so vulnerable, so beautiful, but such a vulnerable time in life with somebody who can't hold it down and needs to like constantly look other places? That to me feels like a type of hell that I never deal with. And that feels like the loneliest thing ever. Like, let alone dealing with that. It's lonely dealing with that in a relationship, let alone realizing you're going to bring another life in. So look out for, sorry, my maid. Loyalty is a big thing for me. I don't want to have to feel like our home, whatever foundation we have, is easily breakable. I want to build my life. Like, I want to focus on upgrading my life and building our life together. I don't want to have to worry of that. Some girl's flirting with you and then you're gonna leave it out kind of open, and now you're disrespecting me and this girl. Like, it's just drama. I think that's the best way to put it. It's just drama. I've also heard people being like, I don't believe in going through phones or allow people to be that way. Like, if they're gonna cheat, they're cheat. I know, but I don't want to waste my time. But sometimes you need like actual evidence to be like, okay, this isn't just my thoughts. This isn't me like having fearful, intrusive thoughts or me being insecure myself. Like, whatever it is, it's like, oh no, my intuition was right. So be with a man that truly honors that and doesn't make you question your own gift that we all have, which is our women's intuition. Now, the other thing too that I must say, talking to my cousin about this, and I know I'm rambling, but I see so many women that go through breakups and, like I said, like take years to like fully process and like, why wasn't I enough? Why was it somebody else? Why was it this person or whatever it is? And that, again, the theme of this is why we're giving so much power to men. A lot of these guys are secretly in the closet. I'm not saying all of them, okay? I'm not saying terrorize every guy about that. But it's honestly true. We're giving so much of our worth on some of these guys hate women deep down. They'll sleep with them, they'll date one, they'll live with one, they'll marry them, they'll have kids with them, but deep down they don't actually like women. I mean, look at P. Diddy. He had one of the most beautiful women in the world, and he just wanted to conquer her. He needed to be better than her. He had to make sure that she felt lesser than. So he's in control, and my whole theory is obviously just like he deep down wanted to be her. So if you ever see like a guy that's constantly in some weird competition with a woman, there's something not fully there. Because every guy that I know that is fully like really loves women, sure, they could be a player, you know what I mean? They could date a bunch of women, but they don't try to hurt women. They don't try to get back at them. They don't try to control them. They don't try to. There's not this weird game of conquering over a woman unless there's some type of jealousy, whatever that is, towards women. It just doesn't make sense. Every guy that I know, even if they're a player or not, a man that loves women, they're just like, hey, we don't work out. Like, I wish you the best. Like, I'm going to respect your feelings. I don't want to hurt you. It's just the way things are. It kind of falls out, and then you kind of move on. Like, that's like a man that loves a woman. Not a guy that's trying to make you feel a certain way, make you doubt yourself. We're allowing a guy to make us feel like, oh, you're right, like I am nothing. Or other women are prettier than I am, or I'm not enough. And no, I need to get back at him. I need to show him that I am better than these people, or that I am a better. No! No. The minute a guy is showing those signs, you are going to regroup. You're going to start dreaming about the most perfect life that you're about to have without this motherfucker. And get a game plan. You're going to get on top of your game. You're going to journal all your goals in life, how you're going to accomplish them. Then you're going to imagine yourself being that woman. And you're going to have this weight off of you, of this fucking dude that is just like a pest. They're like dark entities that just like feed off of your light. You're going to get that away. It's like a cleanse. And then you're going to pack your bags and you're going to move out and you're going to live your best life. First, you're going to find self-love. You're gonna regroup with yourself, feel proud of yourself, love yourself. Maybe I'll do another video of how to get over a toxic guy, because I've been through it and I know exactly the whole thing. I'm definitely gonna do a video of that. That would be a great video. Once you find your self-love and you have yourself, then you're gonna only be with a man that worships you, that truly is capable of loving you and only you and making you feel safe and then building a life. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to find, but they are out there. But I think attracting what we want, we need to become that first. If you don't truly love yourself, or you're still like healing from something, or you're going through something, then you need time to be that person yourself, and then you can attract it. Okay, so I know that was like a lot, and there was a lot of rambling. I can literally talk for about 5 hours right now. I want to talk about how to get over a toxic guy. I want to talk about narcissists, how to look out for a narcissist, how to maneuver through it. So I'll leave it at this for now, so it's not like too long. Please tell me what you guys want to hear next, because now that I'm back on my inner work videos, I'm here. I was going to take it to my podcast, but we're going to go here for now. So we're going to hang here. Let me know what you guys want to hear. I love y'all. And I don't hate men, but I definitely think, like I said, women are elevating a lot and really fast, and men are kind of like operating in the same loop, and it's starting to become a little outdated, and that's why there's just such a difference right now. And for the women who are falling for these like desperate games of like, no, I need to be a fuckboy forever to feel validated. No, you need to go to therapy. You need to like look inwards. You need to find out what you stand for. Who are you? And I think that's like the big issue with these men. They don't like really know who they are. They attach themselves to what they do, how much money they have, what they look like, and how much girls they can get. And those are all exterior things. So if you attach all your identity, which is your ego, to those things, you're gonna have no idea who you are. You're using women to get there. And again, women are so beautiful and so precious that it pisses me off, because I was there. We've all been there. So many of you are so beautiful in my comments, commenting what you're going through, and I'm like, oh my god, if you only like understood the power that you have, and you're giving it to this guy who has no idea who the fuck he is. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys are just empty vessels, just operating in this planet, and we're like attaching to an outcome with them. No. Mm-mm. There's boundaries. Focus on doing you. It will be lonely for a little bit, but when you learn how to fall in love with your own energy, you don't feel lonely anymore. If anything, you really enjoy your own energy. And then when you really work at loving your own energy, that's when you're like, you're not taking me out of what I've built for myself. It's rather you match that for me. You have to be mindful that you do the same back, We're not going to be on our thrones either, being like, it's a one-way thing either. But standing our ground and being beautiful goddesses that all of us are, and life is better. Like, everything else will fall into place. And like, outside of these fucking guys, self-love, everything that you want in life starts with self-love. You want to sorry, I can talk forever. You know what? I'll probably repeat myself over and over again. Maybe I need to repeat myself over and over again. If you want to put yourself out there on the internet, self-love. If you want to go after anything in your life, self-love. If you want to get over this toxic guy in your life or something that happened to you, self-love. If you want to live a happier, better life, self-love. Everything starts with self-love, and then everything falls into place from there. But you have to get rid of these fucking guys that are blocks, because you can try your hardest to have self-love. Do all the inner work you want. If you are spending your time and you're giving your body to somebody that doesn't value you deep down, it's going to be near impossible trying to truly upgrade your life. And if you are able to upgrade yourself in that relationship, something will happen and it will drastically end, because then your energies are now different. Now you live in different realities. But yes, let me know in the comments what you guys would like to talk more about. I love you guys. If you are in a relationship, again, comment what you want next, because I can literally tell you literally anything y'all want. Um, been there, done that. And we're in this together, and you're not alone. We've all been going through it, but it's time. Times are changing. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. I love you. Do your inner work, and I'll see you next time.